Okay. Well, they both
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everybody to the selectmen's meeting of May 3rd. First one for this month. Do you have anybody on Zoom?
No.
Okay,
Staff.
so everybody knows who we are. Okay, we get our signs. They come out of the sign budget or what?
You need that chairman underneath those.
No. I can reuse it next year. That way.
She could have got your ass.
I make a motion to approve the selectmen's minutes, April 26th, 2022. Moved and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And one set of non-public minutes of April 22nd, I make a motion to approve them. Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The second set, I make a motion to approve them. Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We doing two timber cuts for the town, and we waived the deal tax. We signed one veterans exemption, and there was a signature for a personal action form. Randy Burbank resigned from the fire department due to health reasons. Going missing.
JT said he retired.
Yeah, well, we resigned, retired, whatever you call it, under doctor's orders. I make a motion to approve the manifest dated May 5th for $41,744.81. All those in favor say aye. Oh, I need.
Need a second? I second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. And in the mail folder, Camp Marist is gonna start June 1st and run to August 31st. And we got a notice from Eversource of their third-party attachments to their poles. I don't know why they notify us, but they did. I've seen that before. Administrative comments.
I need some direction, please. We have a request for putting up a sign on Effingham Road, a street sign. And I informed the person that it was a private road, not a town road. She replied back that the town's always paid for the sign. So she's mistaken.
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think we should get into the habit of buying signs for private roads.
Okay. We're fine
If
with
you
that.
need directions, head south.
The property on Ironworks. In one of the meetings, you had said to inform the butters, and then you said to advertise. So what do you want me to do? It's that very small lot with the little. So you
Yeah,
want to advertise or
Yeah.
just tell the butters?
no, advertise.
Advertise it.
Get more people we get to bid on it.
And
Higher price.
we'll do both,
Okay,
just in case the water don't see something.
all right. Okay, thank you. I spoke to Tim at Roberts and Green, the auditors. We had set up the date for the audit last October, and most of the departments in town have already provided everything, Conservation Commission, town clerk, so Conservation Commission, and the treasurer has asked me to move the audit. And because he has a whole team, that's really difficult to get a 3-day period in their schedule. It would be pushing it out into summer. Deanna and I discussed it, neither of us are excited about it going into summer. he has said that he's willing to come and meet separately with the treasurer if that's what she really needs. So I just want to know if I have your support on that.
When did we?
It's
When
next
will we
week.
first, no, when will we first notify that in last October?
Yes, I had asked him if he could make it earlier in the year because my first year here it was in October. And then last year it was in the summer. And so when we discussed when's the ideal time to have this done, now is a good time because it's not tax bill season, it's not getting ready for the 434s and all that stuff.
So everyone that needed to attend was notified then?
No, because it's mostly the town books, he's coming to look at the town's books, the ones that Darlene and I maintain.
Okay.
And everyone else provides their information.
And that everyone else knew that they had this coming up.
Yeah, so this is,
Elaine wasn't in a position to get one.
no, she wasn't in the position.
Oh, okay.
So he's willing to come up here a separate day to meet with her, which I thought was a good compromise from moving.
Would you reach out to her and ask that question?
Yeah.
So Vicky,
And
one of the reasons we
what
tried
about
to
the deputy?
pretty well, they want me to go.
Yeah, I'll let her
That's-
schedule it with them.
But we basically wanted to move it earlier this year, so we actually had the final draft prior to the beginning of budget season. So it's one of those things where we've used it in the past in budget season, the last year because it came so late, it was difficult. So we talked about moving it up as early as we could, getting it ready in, so we actually have our final draft by the end of the summer. if possible.
I'll keep with you. Scheduled date, I don't know, I think it should be.
Yeah, and then she can work directly with Tim. And when I talked to him, I said, you know, it's unusual for the treasurer to have a specific meeting, but I understand being our first year. He said sometimes they'll pop their head in, do you need anything? But most of the things he receives through myself or Deanna, and it's just a check and balance with her. So we're just about ready for him. We have a couple more reports to run. I talked to Clean Harbors. I'll let them know. Oh, sorry.
Is the library giving you what they need?
Everything, yeah, all the other departments are in. Take that back, I need the trustees. I talked to Clean Harbors about those 2 barrels on the side of the road and to see if I could get them to come out and test them. And have them picked up. So that's in process. The flags came in for the cemeteries and the gentleman said that he needed 17 flags. So Letty took 17 flags over. He called me that night and said, I only got like 17 flags over. That's all you needed. He said, no, I need 17 dozen. I said, that's a very important word. So more flags are on order.
Okay, I was gonna ask you if we had enough.
No, we're like 2 dozen short.
Oh,
But yeah, if you want to, you could take the other box full and you'll be okay.
I'll wait till everything.
They come in, all right. And the new stickers came in yesterday for the transfer station. People can start getting those. On Thursday, you have the harbor to travel schedule. On June 2nd is the zoning enforcement type workshop. And you get good response, so there'll be a group of you. On Bailey Road, one of the easements, not the people you met with, the other person, their mail came back yesterday, it was mailed on March 31st, we just received it back yesterday, it's undeliverable. So I am trying to figure out how to reach that person. I understand this family in New York, so we're gonna try that route, but we don't have phone numbers. We only have mailing addresses. Deanna and I both left a message for the phone number we did have, so working on that one. That's all I have.
Okay, that training Thursday, it starts at 9,
Correct.
and David's to the school, but
He's actually not here either. Barbara's gonna be here by herself, so I thought I'll teach Barbara, and if one of you just wanna watch, it's basically turning on the TV and hitting go.
You must not want to do that. You being tech savvy.
Yeah.
No, not turn the TV on.
I turned the TV, it's like, yeah.
There's a keyboard in this drawer, it runs everything, but I'll walk her through it, it should be good.
Okay.
I'll be
'Cause I have a dentist appointment at 8 o'clock, so I'll be a little bit late. And Barbara's will be putting out the flags, I mean the paychecks. Thursday, so we'll be handing out checks.
The only ones that really need to come in for our magistrate fee, and she said yes, she would. We're gonna run transfer stations on Wednesday, and the police just come in and get access to our building.
Maybe we have,
Just wondering what's going on with, the transfer station and Evans is going to be wall and the side of it's done.
according
Did
to
Mark come to see you? Hello.
Darlene said that NRRA is picking the glass up on Wednesday.
Okay.
So I called Ron, he's gonna try and get his guys in there Thursday.
But who's, all right, but who's?
The metal's
Are
already,
we doing
the
the?
metal's already
slab?
been, the metal's already been moved.
Oh, okay.
So,
When did
yeah,
you
just last Friday, I think,
Oh, okay,
they put an empty one down back.
okay.
There's really no room for the glass, but we get the okay to throw the
That's
glass
what in
in,
the recycle.
recycle for
Okay.
a couple of weeks.
And we got the concrete guys already scheduled.
I called him yesterday and they're straight out just like everybody, but he's gonna get back to me. He says, I don't know. I'll try and get it next week. He says, but I can't guarantee anything, but I'll let you know. So get Ron in there and do his thing and then the concrete guys.
It's hard trying to sync them together.
Yeah.
Get,
I mean, I think they can do that in a day. You know,
but then how long does it have to keep it?
Well, that's the thing, we gotta wait for the cure.
Right.
So we'll be probably disrupted for a couple of weeks, something. Anything else?
No, that's it.
I love you, Chuck.
Oh, yeah, a couple things.
Okay.
So I did the 4-hour NHMA Right to Know virtual training Thursday. I did the 3-hour New Hampshire Office of Planning and Development Zoning Board course, 3 hours on Saturday. I sat through 3 hours of the town court case last Wednesday. It's been continued to May 10th. Primex security, have we basically had the computer guys to verify we're in good shape?
No,
Because if Primex is actually taking the extra step to send out a special note on it.
right. I saw that. Len Hart did say yes, so when you said computer guys, I was thinking Primex computers. No, Len Hart felt we were solid. But was Primex doing a workshop or there was something?
No, there was an attachment to it, which was basically a letter saying, hey, here's all the things you should be looking at and
I'll send
considering,
that to Will. and-
making sure you're okay. All right, Beaver Break, Townhouse Road. So I forwarded Chris's email to everybody, with his concerns on locating the unit on the pond side, so downstream of where the problem has been. I had talked to Mike Stevens, the trapper, and Mike said, if we only put one in and we put it on the upper side where the dam has been, he said, the beaver were coming through the culvert to come up and make the dam. And he said, if you put something in on the upper side, all you're gonna do is plug it. So Chris had mentioned doing it on the bottom side. And I agree with that, based on what he said. The issue is gonna be any of the debris that would come downstream through the culvert will get in that piece. So if we're gonna do the grates, I think we need to do one on either end.
I disagree.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I think we should put it on Leo's side of the culvert, that's where they dammed it up.
Okay,
I mean, Clough Road was the same thing, they were coming through the culvert and dammed it up. So once we put that one up there, that's,
all right, I'm willing to give it a shot, see if it'll work. And I'm hoping it will. So,
you know, if they can't get through the culvert, then they get kind of discouraged.
well, they're coming up, they're not coming down into the culvert.
Yeah, they're coming up from down below,
Right.
but.
But he said what they'll do is they'll dam inside the culvert, and then that'll be a bigger problem trying to get the dam out of the culvert. I'm good trying to
Yeah,
see if it works.
Did I read something about, something moving that,
So one of the things in the original design was a capability and to be able to have a backhoe and a chain, hook onto it and lift it up so they could dig everything out around it.
yeah,
And with this one, Chris is recommending we do a double unit for that same purpose, being able to haul it up appropriately and get it out of the way so they could backhoe it with the debris away.
yeah, and I thought there was something about,
Attachment.
attaching, so
Oh, yeah,
it doesn't,
that's why,
and making sure that it doesn't pull everything.
well, that's why I like when he's like here, try and just, let's try it and see if it works. And if it doesn't, then we'll have to go to look at another option for.
yeah, I go with just the one on the other side, being much.
Okay. All right, let me tell Chris to go with it.
And did he have a price at all?
He did, it was like,
Didn't see
hold on a
it.
second.
Might have been-
Yeah, no, he gave us something a week or two ago. I think it was 4,000.
I think it was good.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that was one of the Clough Road, this is a big one.
they still made the same size,
This is a smaller culvert, so I
but
don't know if we need one that size.
because of the way they designed them, we could actually, if we ultimately said we don't need that there, we need it in another culvert, we'd be able to use it. If we designed it only for that one culvert, we would be able to use it. If I can go with it, I.
So, yeah, that's fine. Guess we'll go, yeah, we'll do something there.
Okay. The HEB email on the state bridge aid, it looks like he copied you on that, Audrey, and I'm hoping, because I asked him when he was here for that bond signature thing, continually let us know when he sees something that might benefit the town. So hopefully he'll notify us when that legislation passes, and we can craft a letter and submit it up in the HEB.
It sounded like at the end of it, he had a question about, does he want us, for you to have him do that, so are you gonna respond to him, or?
I will, but I'm gonna tell them we'll take a wait and see attitude. Please keep us informed on that. Because if it's only going to be a letter, I'm wondering why we might not be able to craft that ourselves. Rather than pay that. Transfer station, we met, Mark and I met with Bartlett Tree Services there last Wednesday. He said a couple weeks ago there was a proposal, and I think, wasn't there somebody else that you had contacted to come in and join? So I'm sure a couple proposals on creating it. There's about
Yeah,
four.
they're gonna come in May. In May.
Okay, there's 4 different areas that we spotted the other day because of the way the leaves weren't on the trees yet. We could easily pick out the clumps where they were. Powder Post Beetle, contractor decision. So, I did a deep dive in the 2 proposals from Cobalt Construction Management and Triple Construction. And fortunately, Triple also included all the email traffic with the architect and the Board of Selectmen. And what it comes down to is Cobalt is 102,300 and Triple was 104,800. They both included shoring, which is a requirement by the architect. The key element in The triple contract is, they specifically said they would disclaim any damage to the cracking. And the cobalt contract did not disclaim anything. So the architect was rather adamant that there needed to be protection for the town, for that building. From that standpoint. The other thing I did is I actually compared it against our procurement ordinance. And looked at what we did and how we did it as far as the advertising and getting as many bidders as we could. And getting it back in here, performance bond is not required because it's not 125,000, it's only 102. We did a bidder site walk, so everybody was familiar with what they were bidding on. The minimum quality requirements, they both adhered, said they would adhere to, which is the Secretary of the Interior guidelines for historic preservation, so it's a little different requirement for quality work because it's following the Secretary's guidelines. We did the public notice. And we also, when we look at item 5 in there, there's one of the provisions in here is local advantage. The town of Effingham will make every effort to purchase from businesses located within Carroll County if the purchase fits into the category of best overall value. And again, construction, Cobalt does meet that. Triple's actually outside of the county. So based on where we sit with everything that's here, I think Cobalt is the one that we need to look at. So, any questions? Concerns, questions, anything else?
Where we get the money?
So we also this morning signed a modified phase LCHIP scope 1 revised project agreement. And what we ended up doing was delaying some of the work that had been previously approved. So wiring, restoring the first floor ceilings to their original height, getting rid of drop ceilings, and putting in an HVAC system with air handling and whatever. All of that was put on hold because we had a sneaking suspicion we were gonna need the money. Town voted to give us at the annual meeting 50 grand. The price tag is over double that. So we actually have enough money in the current phase 1 accounts to be able to do this power post meter work. And the LCHIP folks are also giving us backdated credit for the asbestos removal work that we did that was charged to the project. So we've got that, and we may end up with 3 grand left over if the budget goes the way it is, in which case we'll just do some windows, historic windows.
So you will have the money to do it.
We will. Yeah.
So this LTIP agreement, that's, it didn't come out and say we could use the money for the power poles.
Well,
They'll-
the email that I sent up to him said, we're looking to delay this previously approved work.
Okay,
And what I just gave you is what I spelled out in the email.
Right.
But I also told them that I had it because they originally requested a complete revised scope of work. So my 9-page document became 12 pages and a revised budget. Which I've got almost done, but I've been waiting on whatever the price tag is gonna be for this before I ship it up. I was not expecting them to send that until I had already done all this other stuff, but the email I sent up apparently did the job. So that will be done.
okay, I mean, it just really wasn't too clear here. That cleared it up.
We got, and the 50 grand that we voted at town meeting, we're going after another LCHIP grant for 160 grand next week. Or within the next week and a half. I'm writing that letter of intent right now, so if we get approved to file an app, we're going after 160 grand. And what the town voted at the town meeting would be basically doubled from 50 to 100 grand if we're approved on the request. So from that standpoint, I'll make a motion to approve Cobalt Construction Management as the power post meter contractor.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, vote aye.
All right,
Okay. As part of that project, the project team has been scrambling over the last 3 weeks because part of our agreement is that volunteers and the library will completely empty the library space. So when you walk through the main door and you see the checkout desks, and you see all the library stacks and books to the right of it, every single thing needs to come out of that room. So the volunteers are gonna do it, which means there'll be a lot of manual labor up front. It needs to be completed before the first part of September, so there's not a lot of wiggle room and time prior to the beginning of the early part of September date. And part of the agreement the town had was basically to provide all the timber for the repairs, so all the beams, the joists, the hardwood flooring. I talked to Al Forrester, Jeff Libby. Jeff had the idea of basically using some of the timber off the Hobbs Road cut that he's gonna be doing. He would, as part of his overall package, transport those logs that would be going down to Timberdoodle Sawmill in Stratford. And the original agreement was to have Timberdoodle come back and later date and do wood. Jeff, for the right reasons, said no, he doesn't want to do it that way. Leo went down and met with Timberdoodle last week. And one of the concerns Jeff Libby had was for the hardwood being able to get it dried in time for September. So if he's not cutting for another month and a half, then we have a short period window of drying. When Leo met with the sawmill last week, sawmill basically said that hardwood has to be cut now for it to be dry in time for the early part of September. So as it happens, he's got, the sawmill has a load of hardwood coming in this week. They would actually saw it, but it's gonna cost us $7 grand for that wood to be sawed and planed and kiln dried. One of the things I was thinking is basically looking at the operating budget for building maintenance and taking money out of there. In the last few years, we haven't used that money at all the way. So we haven't had to dip into any expendable trust fund money. But we gotta come up with some money to pay for this, otherwise it blows the whole thing up.
Jeff can't get in any sooner.
He told me originally June, and then I saw something recently where he was saying in the middle of July into July.
When was the last time you talked to him?
Week and a half ago.
Yeah, I saw him at the transfer station.
But even if he was able to gear up and do it in 2 to 3 weeks, we still wouldn't have drying time. I mean, literally, what was it, this week he's gotta cut it?
Yeah,
Get it dried and-
it's for the floor, red oak. So it's gotta be air dried for about 3 or 4 weeks and then send down to Massachusetts for kiln dry.
Yeah.
So,
And that's all included in that price.
Yeah, it's not kiln dry, you won't be using it until 2 years from now.
Mhm.
correct.
You gotta be done.
So one of the things that I'm gonna do, because he was supposed to get the invoice in here for Friday, so we could have the $2,500 deposit in today's manifest. I asked Leo to reach out to him and tell him that I'll hand deliver that check when we do our next billing cycle on the 19th of May, I think it is. And I'll hand drive that deposit check now. So.
We did it this way because it was cheaper for us.
Yeah,
But now it's costing.
no, because I mean, there's still additional timber that's needed, like the 8x8 beams, 20 feet long. There's like 130 2x8 joists that, I mean, there's still a lot of lumber that the town is donating that is of value to the project that literally is not gonna cost us anything for.
Vicky, on the red oak, the $7,000 is about 25% is trees only. The other 75% is cutting, kiln dry, all that stuff. That's where the cost comes in. So I would say about $5,000 is part of that operation. Trees are only about $2,500.
And if they only bring wood back, once they've dried it to Stratford, Leo and I and Steve.
Well, they're bringing it right back up here.
Are they gonna bring it all the way up here?
Yeah.
Oh, good, all right,
As far as the red oak,
perfect, okay. we're gonna go down and get the other timber once it's cut. We'll go down and get that in Stratford and bring that back and volunteer.
No, I didn't see any other way either.
I mean, it's the least expensive option for us for long term for the whole town to do it this way. Based on the fact we gotta get the project done in September.
Yeah, time's running short. Dying.
That's the real problem we got.
Walking stuff you want that green. Look at it. No, it's gotta be.
Gotta drive.
okay.
Yeah. So the other thing that we're wrestling with right now is where we're gonna put all the books in the shelves. So originally, the library was looking at with some of the money they carried over of doing a 12x16 kind of carriage shed style storage area on the back side of the property over to where Eric Siemens place, like within the setback of the 30 feet long. And they're $5 grand short to make that happen. So at this point, we don't know what we're gonna do. We may end up being in a position where we have to rent one of those steel storage containers. There's a worry about mold and mildew in the box during the period of time. So the jury's still out on how we're gonna tackle that one. But we gotta come up with a decision with the project team in the library within the next week or so. That's more time sensitive.
Yeah, so the storage trailer would be the cheap way out.
It would, you know, when I talked with Chris yesterday, he said most of the storage trailers do not have vents in the walls. And he said the ones that do only have like a 4x6 foot, a 4x6 inch vent up near the top of like both sides of the trailer. He said it's not enough
Can we put
air volume.
can you put a fan in there?
I asked him yesterday about putting a dehumidifier in there. The problem is then we can't close the door, so that you've got insects and mice and everything else that would be able to get in there, which we don't want to do. So being able to put a dehumidifier in there won't work, but a fan might.
Yeah, just throw a fan in there. You got, at least you got the vents. Should
Yeah.
circulate the air enough.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, we're just, that one, the jury's out on that one, we're not 100% sure how we're gonna tackle that. So make a motion to pay Timberdoodle $7,000 out of the operating budget for building maintenance.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? All right.
Aye.
We signed the revised project agreement. I explained what that was just a few minutes ago. We're going after another $10,000 roof plate grant. Most of it will be targeted toward the restoration of the exterior double doors and the interior double doors. The 2021 grant we got for 10 grand will end up paying about half of that total bill. So hopefully we will get this one and we'll be able to pay for the entire bill. The door restoration is outside of the LCHIP grant. So the roof plate money is one of those things that comes in, but it's not tied directly to whatever LCHIP wants. I can use both years as part of the LCHIP grant application that's going in a few weeks. So it means we've got a $20,000 offset that we don't have to raise money for because of what we've already got. I've got the scope of work. I basically said I'm revising the annual budget. Now that we've had the approval of the contractor, I'll send that in. We were notified last week, sometime in the next couple of weeks, all of the storm windows, the new storm windows, the low profile storm windows will be installed on the entire building. So the remaining windows that are on the second and third floor will be then protected from further weather damage until the project takes care of those windows. That's what I have.
Okay. Thanks to everybody for picking up trash. The last count I had was 164 bags and $105.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, I found 5 and Dave Strauss found 100.
Wow.
Should have cleaned up on
So you guys
that.
have more on.
They paid to pick up trash.
I'm pretty sure I lost that $100.
Mr. Regal, you went through all 160 bags?
Sure.
Did you
Yeah.
find any
Thank you
money?
for doing that separation work and
So appreciate it.
I found a battery charger. Pretty new
Would you find anything good?
battery charger.
Battery chargers?
Yeah, automatic.
Wow.
Does it work?
It's just, looks like you just dropped it, lost it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
It was next to the beavers.
We saw the estimate for tree cutting and Green Mountain Road.
gotta do it. Okay,
Okay, any questions or?
and that comes out of the tree budget.
Yeah. roadside.
Right.
I've got to have a conversation with Ron about, I did ask him about roadside mowing, and he said, yeah, he'd buy more, but I want to get together with him and clarify that we need more than an hour articulated. I don't know if he wants to do that, but he's trying. The incident we had up there on Townhouse Road with the lumber truck, those people were up there last week, putting in a driveway. They're gonna come back, put a culvert in. They didn't have one with them, but it was Hancock lumber that delivered the wood. So if we see the bill for fixing the shoulder of the road up there, we'll have to reach out to Hancock lumber. I got the word that the truck driver's boss showed up. Was not really pleased with him even trying to, even if they put the driveway in, somebody pulled in and dropped right out of sight. And he's gonna put a full foundation on it. I don't know what's gonna do it.
There was some homes.
Okay, so I'll reach out to Dale. Tell him he can put that in his schedule. And announcements, town office gonna be closed on Thursday, while he's gonna be out of town, and that means working from home. It's just be easier for her, it's tough time getting around, so they asked if I had any problem with it, I said no. So we'll be here watching our webinar anyway, if anything happens. We're gonna have non-public with JP this morning, but changing plans, we don't, he's gonna schedule that for next week, so that's off the agenda. We don't have any departments, committees today, so I'll open it up to non-public. Remind everybody to keep it cordial, say your name and address for the record.
Steve Regal, Miller Road. Just an FYI to you guys, I don't know, are you aware that the road sign and stop sign are missing from Wilkinson Swamp Road?
Yes, we heard that,
It's an annual event.
yeah. last-
I see.
yeah, last
Someone has a
year.
vast
We
collection.
buy one every year and you put it down.
Does someone have a vast collection of them somewhere? maybe?
Yeah, we were aware of that last year, last winter actually.
Okay, I did.
And
I
we
just-
have to order signs, so we only got one stop sign left.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what's so intriguing about stop signs.
Yeah, and a sign that says Wilkinson Swamp Road, you know?
No, they're all around.
Okay, so it's not just that one all the time. Okay.
Wouldn't it be cheaper just to do like I did on Libby Road, put a stone,
Yeah.
try to, they wouldn't be able to move those.
Yeah.
You got a big flat one laying up there on the mountain
Oh,
somewhere.
I got quite a few.
Dave Garso, 9 Winter Road. Number one, let's see, pouring the concrete at the transfer station, is it going to include any footings for future use? So. the
No, it's
town's gonna go the
Just
route-
a pad, just pad under the dumpsters so they don't dig a hole every time they dump it off.
Okay, I think it's a little myopic, but, all right. Chuck, when do you need volunteers to help move that? The books and stuff.
Haven't got a clue yet. We gotta coordinate it with the library. As soon as we figure out what we're gonna do with the storage unit. We can't, one of these people we're talking about is moving the books up to the second floor, big room. Can't do that because that room is not designed for that weight. So underneath the library stacks right now, 15, 20 years ago, they added a whole bunch of additional cribbing down there to support the weight. That's the only part of the building that can support all those books. So they gotta go outside. We just don't know what we're gonna do. yet.
First part of September.
Okay, so we'll wait. 3, stop sign at the junction of Winter Road and High Watch Road is wiggly. It's been this way for 3 years. I keep putting it back up after it falls down. But it needs to either be screwed into some kind of a base or a base board. In order, I mean, it's literally, you can pull it right out of the ground. It's only in the ground about that much.
Maybe we need a tall pole, tall stake.
It could be as simple as just locating the piece of metal that's been driven into the ground and then bolting it to that.
Okay.
But there's no sense letting the kids take that one too easily. And the last thing, I was wondering if it would be too much trouble for administrators' comments to be outlined a little more like the rest of these are, so we can follow along a little better.
If we know what we're gonna talk about, we can do that, but a lot of, Audrey tries to have that done by Friday, the agenda, so stuff comes up before then, I mean, after that, so. Can kind of, we don't work as a team, so, I mean, we work as a team, but we don't all work on the same thing, so each person's got something a little bit different to do.
Yeah, I mention it because it's nice following along everything we have when we get to administrators' comments and there's nothing there, so everything is new and not related.
I mean, my list I put together last night at 8 o'clock, so it's a little difficult to get everything I analyzed.
Yeah,
in here.
if you can't, it can't, but it works.
It's almost like what you guys talked to us about the day of. Do you know what you were gonna talk about before, when as things that come up? You know,
Or I wake up and think of
Right.
Yeah.
3 AM.
Fair enough.
Hi,
Right,
I'm Lisa Lee. I'm Audrey. We've spoken multiple times. I'm the abutter to the property on Iron Works
Hi.
Road
okay,
that you've decided to post. And I wonder where I would find the posting when you put that out there.
we haven't posted it yet.
So I will email.
So I know, where will I find it? Where will I see the
Well,
You
posting?
say you're a butter, we just decided this morning to advertise it, but also make sure you're butter.
When you advertise, that's what I mean. Where will
No,
I find?
we'll notify you individually,
Oh, you will.
Yeah, it'll be in
Before
the
it's
Con-
posted?
it'll be in
same
the,
time.
it'll be in the Conway Sun and on our website,
That's
and
what I want.
I will, also, as I committed to last week, I will email you. Because we're coming up with a minimum price that the town would need to get back in taxes and things,
Uh-huh.
so. And then, I'm not sure if I talked to you or your husband about who the abutters were, who might be interested, so it's only like 2.
I know who they are.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, so,
And secondly, or I don't know, like, sounds like this is the right place, but I don't know what the speed limit is on that road, and I don't believe it's posted, but there's a lot of fast traffic on that little dead end street that I thought was gonna be a great little bicycle play kid street, and I wondered if a speed limit can be posted out there.
Any road doesn't have a posted sign is 35. That's a state law.
So it's 35.
But that road's so bad, I don't know how anybody can speed it.
It's crazy.
But they do.
Yeah.
And also on that property, there's 2 dead trees, pretty dead trees
On what property?
on the
My butter?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the light company was trying to wanted to take them down, but they could never get permission from the landowner.
Mhm.
And in my conversation with Brad Perry from Eversource, I said, well, the town owns that now, so if your trimming crew wants to take it down, I don't have a problem with it.
Uh-huh.
We'll give them the permission. So you may see somebody there, tree trimmers taking those trees down.
Okay,
That's their preventative maintenance.
sure. Thank you.
You probably don't want them there anyway, if you bought it.
Probably not.
Yeah, so they'd probably be doing favor with what buys it anyway, so. But I haven't heard back from Aspen Tree. So.
Very good. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, welcome, Evan.
Thanks. I've been here a couple years, I think, but I'm all new to doing this.
Any other public comment? Rose, you have nothing?
Unless you want me to tell you that Champion Hill over there, that stop sign is back in place.
Yeah,
Last week it was down.
yeah,
It's up now.
yeah, and the one on Bailey Road's fixed.
Now, see that, 2 signs?
Yeah. So I have nothing more. Anybody? You're done, Chuck? And I'll meet with you over this speed map.
Perfect.
We should talk about that. We get 2 from town, so we really need to.
The next to where the library is,
Yeah, I know we get the,
was one there, and the other one was down where the zebra culverts. Below that,
yeah,
what was the next one down? In that straight stretch, because we've had previous complaints of people passing people at 67 miles an hour, people doing the speed limits, they're just passing on the straightaways. And we've clocked, while we were putting up those speed signs at the library, a guy coming up the hill at 62 miles an hour. So there are some speed elements for that entire road.
yeah, I think that 62, right after they put that little radar thing up at the library, I think that was somebody did that on purpose.
Ian was putting it up when the guy drove by. No, he said he was late for something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Because we got 1 on Elm Street, 1 on Plantation Road, 1 on School Street. And then 2 on Pine River, 2 on Green Mountain, and 2 on Townhouse.
Is there any on Elm Street?
1 on Elm Street. So it's total of 9. And first 5 are $120 each. And over that's $90 each. Audrey, is this $120 because there's traffic, direction, speed, and vehicle classification? Is it all
It's,
4 for 120, or
yeah,
is it 120 for each
No.
one?
no, it's all those studies for the one price. So the second price is at 90, you just said? So that-
Yeah, $90 over 6.
Yeah, so it'd be 90 times 9.
Vehicle classification, do we want that?
Yeah, we can actually tell with some of the trucks whether they're actually going on.
And the direction, direction one, okay. All right,
And part of this will also help us down the road, when we get the annual complaints from different people around speeds in town on different roads. We can basically, at least the next few years before that, we'll start, what we had done, and show the real world speeds.
and the volume of traffic will help in determining which road project we do, yeah, whether it's Elm Street or Scott Pine Road.
What's the time period for this road study? Is it a
We'll
1
do
month?
about July, shortly after 4th of July.
Yeah, but is it for 4 weeks, 5, say 8 weeks?
Yeah, the one-
1 week,
Oh, just for 1 week.
okay.
I have a question there. On the Green Mountain Road thing, we're planning this for July and we're gonna be repaving in July,
No, we're repaving in August or September, right?
is that right? August,
Yeah, that's when they plan on starting.
okay, I don't know how accurate the readings will be after the road gets into shape again. But, I guess you're on a schedule, so
Well,
I don't know what you could do about that.
it'll be set up, one setup will be where the new section's already been done, so. That's what most of the speed issues are, most of the points will get anyway.
Right, well, because the road has been redone.
Right. So after August, your section of the road will get the
And-
points.
Have you given any thought to Ryefield Road, one there? There's, what's going on right now is people are flying down the new stretch. And then before they get to the nasty area, they're taking a left on Ryefield and going out to the highway again.
It's a little bumpy.
Yeah, that is pretty rough. That's a road that needs to be rebuilt too. I don't know, haven't had any speed complaints actually on Ryefield.
Really, the police said that Ryefield was a big one because
We have a lot of roads in town like that.
Sure,
We gotta kind of pick and choose,
yeah,
where the most important pieces are at this point.
hey, I'm just mentioning it.
No,
You guys,
Lenny's right, that road's in such tough shape, we gotta redo the bed and everything. we'll worry about it.
Yeah, even Providence Lake roads have a lot of speeders on.
What are you looking at?
There was one this morning was stepping it right out there. Okay, nothing more. Just we can call it a day.
Motion adjourned.
I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you both.
Yeah, we're good.